right, good morning. This is Michael with Champignons, and today I am doing some grain spawn inoculation and some substrate, some grain to substrate transfers. So, what we're looking at right here, we've got 13 bags of grain spawn, 2.5 kilos each, so like 5.5 pounds. And we're going to be doing some experimenting today. So some of these we're going to be doing 15 mils each of liquid culture. So we have got 30 mil syringes here. We're going to do 2, 4, 6, so 3 different strains of 15 mils each. And then we're going to be doing 10 mils each of liquid culture for 7 different strains. So as far as what we are inoculating today, we're going to be doing pink oyster. This is a different strain of pink oyster. This is actually like a salmon oyster. Pleurotus salmonestrominus. So looks like a pink oyster, but it's a different type of pink oyster, which we'll actually be calling salmon oyster from here on out to keep things simple. Tiered tooth fungus. All of these liquid cultures here came from the Mycelium Emporium, by the way. Really cool, people. Tiered tooth fungus. It's a type of, it's a cousin of a lion's mane or a coral tooth. Really excited to see how these look. Freckled chestnut. Let's see, we'll be doing some beach mushrooms, some black poplar, and some Pio-Pino. And then last, we're gonna do lion's mane. So you always gotta keep some lion's mane going. So we're gonna get these inoculated today. After I inoculate these, I do have some grain spawn that needs to be moved to substrate. So we've got Italian oysters. This is gonna be our first grow of Italian oysters. These actually colonized the fastest out of any of the new strains that we got. So all of these again are from the Mycelium Emporium. These are our new strains that we've incorporated. And yeah, Italian oyster seemed to colonize really quickly. So I'm super excited to get that one into some substrate bags. We're gonna do some different types of substrate too. So we're gonna do Master's Mix. These ones right here, hardwood pellets with frass. And then also this one is with waste, it says on there. So what that means is we actually took an old substrate block. You can see some out there through the door. We took some old substrate blocks and mixed them in there to see what happens when you try to recycle some of the used substrate to grow again. And we're gonna compare that with Master's Mix, which is just the classic hardwood and soy hulls. And we'll also do some with the compost, manure, and wood mixture. And then we'll also do some that has, let me see if I can find it. We'll do some with our mixture of Master's Mix with lime as well, if I can find it. Well, maybe we won't, because I don't think we have enough. Oh no, we sure do. So yeah, we're gonna try out. We will transfer this grain into 4, maybe 5 different substrate bags, and at the same time, we'll be testing out how it grows on 4 different types of substrate. So we'll do that for the Italian oyster. We've also got some more coming up. This is an enoki. As you can see, it's not quite all the way colonized, but I'm gonna run it anyway because I'm getting impatient, and once I get in here and get moving, it's better to keep me moving. We've also got a bunch over here. So we've got a golden oyster that is just about ready. Let's see. Blue oyster. We got more golden oyster. So we'll be doing a lot of spawning today after I get these all inoculated. And then over here we have some that are moving into the tent. So we've got pink oysters. What do we got here? More pink, pohu. We've got enoki, namiko, another namiko. So the enoki, namiko, those both are going to prefer some cooler temperatures. So we're just kind of running them with everything else to see how they perform at the regular temperatures we keep in here. So we're gonna kind of see what happens. I did move in right there, straight ahead is one. So we did put some blocks into the freezer. Right now I have Nebridensis in here and Black Pearl King. So what I'm doing with these is freezing them solid, leaving in there 2-3 days, and then moving them into the tent and seeing how that cold shock does for different strains. So we did Namiko and Enoki in there, and then we'll try out that Black Pearl King and the Nebridensis. See how those go with the nice cold shock. We've got a lot of bags coming up ready to move in to the tent. These are all reishi, except for this one actually. That's a coral tooth, I believe. Yeah. So all reishi, they can sit up here for a bit longer because they're gonna sit in the bag as long as possible before they run out of room. So they don't necessarily have to go into the grow tent. Same with these hen of the woods. They're obviously very well colonized, but I'm gonna wait until I start seeing some pin sets on the top before I move them into the tent. Get another pohu right here. Just about ready to move in, but we'll give it a couple more days before we do that. Another Black Pearl King just about ready to move in. And then we've got our shiitakes over here. These ones colonized for a long time. They've got to go through, they're starting to popcorn, but they haven't browned out yet. We've got some shiitakes in the tent, have not gotten a first harvest off of them, so really excited to see that. And then the last thing I want to show you guys, you can see we got a bunch that we moved out recently. We had one reishi succumb to the green. It happens. But let's see. So right here, it's really hard to see, but that's a better visual of it. So these are the enoki. This is the first time I've actually gotten a new enoki to fruit. And I'm actually gonna cut this bag today and let some air start coming in. But notice how they're not white, like what you would expect. So these enoki are outside. I took them out here during the freeze. And when it was really cold out. And I took all these different bags out. Nebridensis, King Oyster, Enoki, Hen of the Woods, and Namiko. So these have all been out here for a week or two, experiencing these temperature fluctuations and just on the back porch, relatively indirect light. So we're seeing how these perform like that, and I'm really excited to see my first Enokis in action because I've been dying to get those to grow. I can't wait to try them out. These ones obviously are not going to go to the market because we're still learning how to grow them, so I don't feel comfortable trying to sell them if I'm not confident in how to grow them consistently. So yeah, and then some more bags going to the compost. Well, these ones are actually going to go to the little donation station or curbside stand for anybody who wants these for compost. Most of these are so these are lion's mane that I had already gotten 1-2 flushes off of, and then you can see we got the green coming. So pretty much all of these at some point at their end of life, they end up getting trichoderma, which is pretty much always going to be what takes over at the end. So I've harvested these a few times, and now it's time to just let nature take its course. Yeah, sure, somebody could get more out of them. Someone could get another flush, maybe 2 out of them, but at the risk of everything else that's in the grow tent, I'm not gonna try. Did some construction earlier, so we'll see what happens with those, if anybody comes picks them up soon. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at today. We had 2 markets this past weekend. We'll be at another farmers market the last weekend of this month, the 29th and the 30th. We'll be at 2 different markets, so hopefully some more people come out and come to see us, and you know, I'm excited to see how things go. Before I let you guys go, one more look in the grow tent. Let's see what things are doing today. So I did harvest pretty much everything yesterday. We do have a lot more coming in. So we've got some Bear's Tooth, Lion's Mane that we're getting our second, third harvest off of. And then we've got some of our experimental ones. So there's our Namiko, Enoki. Those were in the freezer. Let's see, we've got our shiitakes up here. I have not unwrapped them fully. I know they recommend doing that sometimes, but I'm still kind of feeling them out. We've got a bunch of pink oysters over here waiting for their second flush. And then we've got a few lion's mane and pohu and golden oysters that are pretty much done. We've got some nice looking reishis coming in. Here we go, we got some more reishis. Pretty much all of these are reishi. Again, these ones are closed, but we're just kind of seeing how things go. It's a nice pohu set right there. So we're just kind of seeing how they'll perform by being in here for a little bit. Right here is a golden I just moved in there yesterday. We're trying out a lot of different cut styles. Got a long cut, 2 small cuts. Actually on this one did a punch biopsy cut on there to see what happens with that. It was a nice formed flush, but I did not like the size. I feel like it definitely hindered the size, but it looked like a great bundle, but the weight just wasn't there. And then the coral tooth have just been killing it. So as far as like harvest weight, I'm getting more harvest weight off of the coral tooth than any other Hericium at the moment. The lion's mane is a close second, and the bear's head is significantly less. I really like the bear's head. I think it's beautiful, and in my opinion, it's my favorite of the Hericium as far as like just the way it feels in your hand. But it's putting off so little comparatively, less than half by weight compared to the other 2, that I think I'm going to focus on bear's head much less and put a lot more energy into the coral tooth. We've got some king oysters that are, I'd say these are done. They're not going to do anything else for me. Maybe if I soaked them or gave them another cold shock, I might see something else, but at the moment, I'm not. Got our black pearl king right here. I did something a little different, so I did see Southwest Mushrooms. What they have been doing from one of their videos is they actually rip off a lot of that extra mycelium that can form on the top sometimes when the bag is closed, and then give it a new chance to kind of start going up. And so I'm trying that with this one to see how that performs. And then up here, this Hen of the Woods, still looking pretty good. They're funky, but you know, this is my first time growing Hen of the Woods. I still have not decided whether I'm gonna pour this out or not. I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm just gonna let it ride and kind of see how this one does. And then with the other Hen of the Woods moving forward, I'll try some different configurations and see how it goes. Let's see, our Namiko right here. I'm ready to see it do something. I'm so ready to get some of those other ones coming in. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. That's a nice one coming in, the lion's mane. So yeah, but thank you guys. Check in with us, like, subscribe, whatever. Go to our pages. But But yeah, y'all have a good day.